Sonia is seeing a lag of posting of reviews once they've been submitting. A number of people have indicated that they've posted reviews of her book, but they never appear. She's suspecting that some of them are lying, but that others turn up days later. What constitutes a verified Okay, so we got a bunch of questions here. Here is the deal on reviews. Sonia, most of your friends who tell you they wrote a review probably aren't lying. But because they're friends of yours and because their email for Amazon is the same as their email for Facebook or Twitter, and if you guys are connected on Facebook, Amazon, I know you guys think that I'm crazy, but I'm not. Amazon knows when you're friends with someone. And if these truly are friends that you interact with on a regular basis, and your email login on Facebook and theirs are binging back and forth, the internet world knows that. It's very simple for a computer to identify your friends, and they don't let friends review friends' books. So it's right in their community guidelines that if you are an associate, a friend, a relative of a relative, look in their community guidelines that you're not allowed to review the book. So their reviews are most likely getting blocked. I will also tell you that a huge chunk of people who tell you that they bought your book on Amazon or that they bought your book, they are lying. They didn't. Most will not go so far as to say I wrote a review if they didn't. But a lot of people, like half of the people I know, they're standing in line with you there at the supermarket. They haven't seen you in 2 weeks. They're thrilled to see you. They're talking about the book. And they said, oh, yes, I bought it. I loved it. They haven't bought it. They haven't read it. But what else are they going to say? So I don't believe most of your friends are lying when they say they wrote a review. Probably a few are. But don't worry about that. I think a number of your reviews are perhaps being blocked. And if they're delayed, that's because they're under review. So the key is don't ask friends to write reviews. We're not allowed to do that anymore. Last year at this time, it was perfectly acceptable to ask your readers and your fans and your friends to write a review of your book. But those days are over. You're not allowed to do that anymore. I've said this before. I know you haven't heard it, but I'm saying it for anyone who's listening. The rules have changed. Amazon reviews need to come organically, and they need to come from readers who purchased your book. So that leads me to your second question. What constitutes a verified purchase for review purposes? She's noticed that members of her street team who purchased the book while it was free during pre-launch appear as verified while others don't. So if what I understand, Sonia, and feel free to correct me in the Q&A box if I don't understand, is some of the people who bought your book when it was free during the pre-launch period, the book was considered a verified review. But once your book was available and once it was no longer pre-launch, but people who actually bought your book for money, I'm assuming, their book was not listed as a verified review. There's one of a couple things that could happen. Either they bought your book under another account. I have more than one Amazon account. I've got one for work and one for personal. There's a chance that they bought your book under their mother's account or I'm not sure, but that doesn't usually happen. If they bought your book, Amazon will consider it a verified review. But there's a really good chance that maybe they bought it under another account. Maybe they didn't buy it. Maybe they just wrote a review without buying it. Did they get a sample copy? But what verified purchase means is that Amazon knows that the email address, the login and password of the person who wrote the review also bought that book.